Hey everybody, I'm Doug, that's Connor, and this is a special edition of the Bethel School District Presents podcast. We're calling it Travel Tales Volume 4.
That's right, Douglas. It's spring break and we're on a brief hiatus, but we wanted to listen back to some travel stories told to us on the show, maybe even share a few of our own.
Let's kick things off with a never-before-heard segment from our interview with students in the Mechatronics class at the Pierce County Skills Center.
Mechatronics is one of the newest courses at the Skills Center, and it's an amazing new field that combines basically all STEM fields, mechanics, electronics, programming, and it's giving high school students here a really big opportunity.
It was a great interview, and rescued from the cutting room floor, we have this piece of our conversation where we talked to everybody about their favorite spring break trips. Starting off, you're going to hear Raship. He's a student in the class, followed by another student, Galia, and finally Nisa Maxim, the class's instructor, who also happened to work on the Mars rover.
My best spring break was when I went to my grandma's house in India, and it was a village, so everybody knew them. So I just ran around the village, be a menace to society.
That's fantastic. India's a pretty big country. Where in India were you?
I was from the north, Punjab.
Okay, that's awesome. And had you been to that village before?
Yes, my mom grew up there, so most of my life, whenever we had spring break, I went there for like 6 weeks. And yeah, it was best time of my life. It was like, I lived in a city, and when I went to a village, it was like, yay. Yeah, I was free bird.
That's fantastic. How old were you when you went?
I was like 8, 6.
Okay.
Yeah, most of my childhood. Younger days.
That's awesome. Thank you, Rishabh. Galia?
For me, I haven't taken many spring break vacations yet. Also, I'm kind of afraid of like airplanes.
Oh.
But one in the future I think I want to take would be to Canada. So, there's like the train that takes you from Washington to Canada. And I think it'd be great to experience that. I think it'd be beautiful.
Absolutely. I'm sure it would be. And over to you, Nisa.
Yes. All right. So spring break is always the time for the grad student or teacher go to the conference. So one of the best conferences that I've been to is in Texas for the Lunar and Planetary Science Conference. And that is where I was going every spring break for 5 or 6 years when I was working at in that research time. And what I can see, people around the world. I can see ESA, DASA, NASA, everybody from all walk of life. They just show off their research and discuss, what they gained that year. So it was fun. It was a good spring break.
Spending spring break at a conference. Connor, let's kick this around for a minute. I personally might not call a conference a spring break destination, but Nisa said the best part was meeting the people from the other space agencies, and travel really is all about the people you meet who can really make or break a trip. So my question for you is, who's the most interesting person you've ever met on a trip?
Well, there's been a lot of them over my 40-some years here on Earth, but I'm going to go with Cameron Rundles. Cameron was a professional basketball player in the Ukraine Super League in Cherkasy, Ukraine. And I went there and I did a story on him many moons ago. Fascinating character, American guy, overseas playing basketball in a country he doesn't speak the language, doesn't know the culture. Very interesting fella.
Well, that's very cool. One interesting person that we both met on this very show was Kim Lingo. She's a paraeducator at Frederickson Elementary. And we have another unaired moment from our conversation with her. Kim rebranded the term midlife crisis with her own midlife clarity. And that is what brought her to Bethel from her career as a journalist. During our conversation, we asked her about her favorite spring break trip, and this is what she said.
Well, it's not a spring break trip. Actually, now might be the time to do it because I did a road trip in the summer and it was brutally hot. This might be the time to go instead. Did an RV road trip down to California, went all the way down through, the Hollywood Hills and LA and all that. Then came back through Las Vegas. That was the hot part. I would not recommend Vegas in an RV. And then back up through Yosemite and Oregon and back up here. And that was great.
That's a long haul.
Other than the heat.
Do you own an RV or did you rent
Yeah.
one?
No, we own one.
You
Yeah,
own
that
one.
was when you have 4 kids, it's cheaper to RV down to California than to fly.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And some beautiful scenery, too, down there.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so down to Hollywood, over to Vegas in an RV with a bunch of kids. That sounds like the ingredients for a movie to me. Doug, you ever traveled in an RV yourself?
No.
Travel trailer?
No.
Fifth wheel?
No.
Sixth wheel?
No.
Motorhome?
No.
Camper truck?
No.
Truck camper?
Are those different things?
I don't know. Toy hauler?
No.
You ever slept in your car?
I have not.
You ever slept in a tent? Come on, Doug. You've slept in a tent.
I have indeed slept in a
Good
tent.
Lord.
Not a fan.
Oh, man. It's a great time. You're missing out.
That must be the Montana talking. For our final segment, we're going to revisit part of our conversation with Cougar Mountain Middle School Orchestra Director Shannon Bolin. Now, we didn't talk to Shannon about spring break, but we did talk to her about her travels in education. She attended quite a few impressive overseas schools.
I understand you attended both Richmond University in London as well as the Glasgow School of Art in Scotland. So how did these opportunities come to you, and what did you learn while you're there? And as a side note, did you have any haggis in Glasgow?
Oh, of course I had haggis in Glasgow. I've also had a vegetarian haggis. I'm a fan of both. When I was getting my undergrad in music education, I went to a school in Ohio called Bowling Green State University. And from there, I was able to do a study abroad program to London at Richmond University, where I took a video production course. And during my time there, I met completely brand new people. I was there kind of by myself, and a friend I had never met. And I went to Edinburgh in Scotland for the weekend, and we just took a bus and we went up there. It was the most magical experience of my life. I could not believe that a place like that truly existed beyond the books I was reading. And so from that moment, I knew I wanted to pursue a graduate degree. And I knew I wanted to study in the UK. And so I found a program called Sound for the Moving Image through the Glasgow School of Art. And my background is in music education, not in art. And so I wasn't sure if I was even going to make it, but I applied anyway just to see if I would at least get an interview. And next thing I knew, they were interviewing me, and I was offered a position there.
That's amazing. And I have been to Scotland. I love Glasgow, and Edinburgh is magical. It looks like you're in Harry Potter or something, that castle on the hill. So if you could go back to either place, London or Glasgow, for a vacation, which would it be and why?
I would easily say Glasgow, because in Glasgow, they have a city motto that is, people make Glasgow. And that's 100% true. The Glaswegians and Scottish people in general are so friendly and quick-witted, and they have such pride in their city. I was actually there during the referendum, which was a really amazing opportunity to be, to see a little glimpse of history being made. And I think most people don't fully understand the history of the UK and how it works with all the different countries in there, with Scotland and Ireland, Northern Ireland, Wales, and England. And so it was really incredible to see the different perspectives, especially during that time. But the whole city itself has such a creative atmosphere, and it's just an extremely artsy city for sure.
Well, Connor, I know you're a fan of Scotland, and I know you love hearing people say the word Glaswegian. So a little pop quiz, hot shot. Do you know what they call people from any other cities?
Well, let's test me out. I think I do.
All right. If you're a resident of Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenixite.
So close.
Phoenixonian.
A Phoenician.
It's like a Phoenician blind.
It's Liverpool, England. What do you call a resident of Liverpool, England?
I know this one actually because it is maybe, other than Glaswegian, my favorite. It's Liverpudlian.
Well, I think it's fantastic. And I also thought it was fantastic that she talked about Glasgow's city motto. And I actually looked a few of those up just to continue the quizzing fun here. So, as you know, New York is the city that
never sleeps.
How about Las Vegas's city motto?
Las Vegas is what happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas?
Close enough. What happens here stays here. What about San Andreas, California?
That one I don't know.
Well, it's not our fault.
Oh, that's adorable.
Last one, Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Don't know that one either, Doug. Enlighten me.
All right, it is the sweetest place on earth.
Well, that tracks, and it's the second mention of Hershey, PA on the pod. By the way, what are people from Hershey called?
I actually looked this up, and it's Hersheyans.
I would have said Hersheyite, but I guess I'm not in charge here.
No, you're not, and it's not a very good one either. I guess it's time to cue the music and end this episode.
Well, that's a wrap on Travel Tales Volume 4. Thanks for listening, everyone. We will be back next week with a brand new episode.
Happy spring break, everybody.